Has the question ever popped up in your head of what is it like for people to go through a long distance relationship? Or have you almost ever gone into a long distance relationship, or have just started being in a long distance relationship and just thought, what the hell? Like, what's gonna happen? What am I gonna feel? I'm here to tell you exactly that. I am in a long distance relationship and my fiance is like 22 hours away by plane, and our time zone at the moment is about 9 hours difference. Okay, so you're basically sharing your life over the phone and through social media. You know, I haven't seen my fiance for 5 months now. It's coming up to 5 months, and I'm really starting to feel it. I wake up in the morning and I just feel lost. I just want to see him. It's like this feeling of desperation. Like, you want to see them so bad and you have no control over it. It is not an easy feeling to deal with. It's not an easy feeling to overcome. One of the most important things in a long distance relationship is to love each other. And I'm not just talking like petty love, I'm talking about love. Because if you don't love each other, you both will be so weak and you won't be able to get through this, and it'll just be a very short relationship and it won't last. And through love comes belief, right? So believing that you could get through this, believing that you and your partner are strong enough to get through a very delicate stage of your relationship. You know, being apart is not easy. Experiencing life individually while both of you are completely separate is extremely hard. And having to share your life experiences, your day, the way you're feeling, everything that's happened in your life on that day or in that moment over the phone is extremely hard and requires a massive amount of effort. And I cannot exaggerate how much effort a long distance relationship takes. That comes down to my next point, effort. If you don't have effort and if you're not willing to put in that effort in a long distance relationship, your relationship will not last. Once again, your relationship won't grow fonder and bigger, and your love won't grow for each other. It's very easy to get lazy. You just rather, you can't be bothered being on the phone every day. You can't be bothered texting them. You can't be bothered waiting up that extra hour for them to wake up. You can't be bothered staying on the phone for that half an hour or an hour. And for example, like for me, I have to make that effort of, on my lunch break, I have to be able to call my fiance, because I know if I don't call my fiance on that lunch break, I'm not going to be able to speak to him for another 4-5 hours, because he's going to be on the other side going to work, or on the other side going to uni, or whatever it is. So I need to make the most of the time that I have and that he has to speak to each other and to build our relationship and to discuss things. Things you might feel while you're in a long distance relationship from time to time is being really sad. There's times in the day where I'm free. I have the time to speak to him and he's sleeping or he's at uni. He's busy doing something and I can't speak to him. So that makes me really sad and makes me feel like, it makes me feel left out, really, because it's like, it starts to make me think, oh, this isn't fair. I see people in relationships here and they're together and they're spending their life together and they can speak to each other whenever they want. And then I have to wait for a particular time to speak to my fiance. And that makes me really sad. And him being apart, him not being next to me, him not being able to see me not being able to see him, just being like, I'm pretty sure, like, you guys just know, like, someone being in your presence can sometimes mean so much. Silence can be so loud sometimes, and it's just sometimes that's all you need for a person just to be next to you. And you can't have that when you're in a long distance relationship. When you're on the phone, when you're in silence, you're just like, oh, like, I'd rather be speaking to you than holding my phone silently. Do you know what I mean? You're in presence of the phone more than a person. So that stuff makes me really sad, and that's what makes us sad, being in a long distance relationship. And that leads to being very lonely. When I'm seeing, when I see my friends with their fiancés or their husbands or their boyfriends, and I'm here just sitting there watching them experience things together and, experience life together and go out together and buy things together and plan things together face to face, it makes me feel extremely lonely. And sometimes people will feel bad for you, but they don't really know what you're going through because they've got their special individual with them. Their partner is with them. Their partner in life is with them. I have to wait to express what I'm feeling to my partner and tell them what I like and what I don't like and what I did today and what I didn't do today and, who I met today and who I met new, and they can't even meet them. I want to be able to introduce my fiancé to my friends. My friends still haven't met my fiancé, and that's extremely hard for me because I could tell them so much about him, but it's not like meeting him. It's not like seeing him. It's not like spending time together with him. It's not the same. So being out with your friends and talking to your friends about your partner and not being able to physically show them, or not being able to physically go out as a couple with your friends that are a couple, it's so sad. It makes you feel lonely. It makes you feel really lonely. So putting in that effort and wanting to put in that effort is extremely important in a long distance relationship because it builds your relationship. It helps you stay committed to one another. So that brings me to the amazing things about a long distance relationship that an average relationship will never experience. Because when you're in a long distance relationship, you have this feeling of desperation to want to see this person, to see your partner, to touch your partner, to kiss your partner, to feel your partner, just anything, just for your partner to be there physically, to feel your partner physically be there. You have a desperation to feel this. So when you come together, when you meet them, when you see them, the feeling that you feel is so overwhelming. It is the most beautiful feeling I have ever felt because I've been away from this person for so long and I've been thinking of the different things I want to do with this person when I see them, and the different things I want to speak to them about, and the different things I want to see them doing when I was away from them for so long. And for me to finally meet this person and be able to do these things in physical form is extremely exciting. And that takes me to the point of appreciating your partner even more. You know how they say distance makes the heart grow fonder? It is so true. Being away from this person, you miss out on all the things I've been talking about, right? And then when you see them, you're like, are you actually here? Are we actually doing this together? Are we actually experiencing life together in this short amount of time? But are we actually experiencing life together? It makes you appreciate them so much more. It makes you appreciate every little aspect, their touch, their breath, the way they talk, the way their heart beats, the way they, what they do in their everyday life, the way they sleep, the way they eat, what they eat. Everything is just so much more exciting and so much more special because you've been wanting to just experience this normal relationship. You're eventually going to be away from this person for however long, and you need to save those memories. You need to gather those memories so that you don't forget them when you get back. You don't want to forget the way it feels when they touch you, or when you hold hands, or when you eat breakfast together or go out together, or just anything, just these little things. Even the way your partner blinks. You see relationships these days, because they see each other so much, they begin to not appreciate each other as much anymore, and seeing each other isn't as special anymore. Talking on the phone isn't as special anymore. Doing things together is not as special anymore because you're constantly doing it. These little things mean so much more because you're away from them for so long, and you're going to be away from them. So you want to cherish these moments so much more. Therefore grows your love for each other and your passion for each other. This just takes your relationship to another step. This makes your relationship feel like it's a resilient relationship, because you feel like, if I can get through this, if I can push through this desperation, if I can push through this, then we can get through everything and anything. So that's my view of what it's like to be in a long distance relationship, and that's just from personal experience. So I hope I could help someone that's maybe going through the same thing as me, and make them feel like they're not alone, and the feelings that you're feeling is normal. And for anybody that's thinking of going into a long distance relationship, I hope I've given you some insight on what it's like to be in a long distance relationship and what being in a long distance relationship is consisted of. So thanks for listening, guys. Talk soon.